Hi guys, welcome back to Ana Dialogue, the dialogue on analog music reproduction. In this episode, we're gonna take a deep look on our SL1200 Technics new model and especially how to upgrade it. The 8 main best upgrades, tweaks. Ready for it? Let's go. Okay guys, as you all know, starting in 2016, Technics rebuilt, redesigned its 1200 series, creating this marvel, the SL1200G. They also made a special edition, the GAE, which is a slightly enhanced version of this, and a few years after that came out also the downgrade, we could say, of the central model of G, the GR. But all three of them are amazing models. Just a brief comment. Why? Well, we all know the classic Technics 1200. It's been the main turntable for DJs and beginner audiophiles, I would say. And not only. There's a lot of people who loved this model. As I always say in my videos, the problem is direct drive in not high quality models. Already starting from the weight. Well, this baby, as you guys know, because you probably have one at home if you're watching this video, you know that this piece of gear, of fantastic equipment, technology, Japanese technology, is truly astounding, extremely heavy. The problem is that in several direct drive models, the past version of this, but also other, as I said, low budget, low quality models, direct drive does create a lot of problems in the tracking, in the reading. There's a lot of noise, there's a lot of rumble created by the motor inside. So, or you have a top-notch motor, which was found in high-end models, or baloney, you had to go with a belt-driven or other solutions turntable. Now finally, this, I would say, at a decent price, it's not cheap, as you all know, we have a logically and effectively constructed direct drive turntable. They've done also other models like the SL1000, which is amazing. I mean, that's even better when it costs even 10 times more, 5 times more, something like that, I remember. In any case, they optimize even more the concept of direct drive, lowering even more the noise and the rumble. So, in any case, this is an excellent model. Just one last thing. If you check a famous video of Michael Fremer where he compares his amazing 25 grand turntable, which has all kinds of technology, the Caliburn, which is a truly amazing turntable, obviously. He compares it with this. The Caliburn is the winner, but this is not that far. That was shocking. I'll put a link in the video description if you want to take a look at that. Also, I want to thank Mikey because he wrote an article. I'll put the link also to that, where he started already during his review of putting some suggestions to upgrade this. So thank you, Mikey. Okay, let's start. Let's take a look at our 8 main upgrades after this. Okay, upgrade number 1. We'll start with something simple, not too relevant. Power cord. You might probably say, what? Power cord? That's just a motor. Who cares? That's not true. I mean, you should put a not top-notch quality, no, but a good, in this case, shielded, well-shielded power cable. Why? Because remember that the power supply is inside in here, and it does need clean power to work perfectly. Noise can climb back up your power cable if it's not that good and create problems, issues in its electrical and mechanical and subsequently parts. So don't underestimate that. Get a decent, not top grade, absolutely, a decent power cord. possibly with an extra shielding. That's, in this case, it's beneficial. Let's proceed. Upgrade number 2. Again, this may be banal, obvious. What am I talking about? A good pair of RCA cables. Now remember, we're dealing with a very subtle signal coming from here, okay? It doesn't have a built phono preamp, as you know. So that very weak signal has to go intact in the best way, in the correct way to its phono preamp, whatever it is. So I would suggest here, my recommendation, if you have the money, is to go with an OCC silver cable, not copper, silver, because that is even better. As we said, silver cables are the best, but if not built correctly, they ring. They sound harsh. That's why a lot of people don't think that silver are the best cables. It is. It's the best conductor. That's already a win there. But unfortunately, a lot of people do not construct it in the right way. We'll do a video maybe on this topic in the future. So try to find or bulk cable and make your own. That's what I do. Take a look at this video where I do my cables, my RCA cables. Just get OCC silver. If you don't want to spend that type of money, no problem. Get copper. That's good as well. I'm using both. It depends. Okay, that was the best of the best silver. Otherwise, OCC copper, no problem. And you can find extra fine quality with just a few dollars if you do it by yourself, buying, for example, the Teac. I don't remember the model. In any case, you can take a look at that video and do it by yourself. It's not that difficult, just basic soldering technique, which I'm not good at all, and the sonic results are amazing. So anyone can do it, I think. Take a look at that video and build your own if you don't want to spend too much money on this. Otherwise, go out and get a good OCC cable, copper or silver. Let's proceed. Upgrade number 3, head shell. Oh yes, baby. Now this is a tough one. Okay, now the first thing to remember here is that the head shell is directly connected, first of all, of the type of tone arm. Because if you have a GR turntable, you're going to have aluminum. While this, for example, is the G model, and this is magnesium. So that's already changing the mass. So first of all, you have to take into consideration that, and then obviously you have to take into consideration the cartridge you want to use. Considering these two things, you want to choose the correct head shell. Possibly probably I would say, not possibly, probably one with a high mass. Why? Because especially this model, this is very, very light. It's just, I think, 10 grams if I don't go wrong. This arm, very, very light. In the aluminum, it's not. I don't think it's not that much higher. In any case, you have to know the exact weight of everything, as you know, and at that point, you can decide which type of head shell you can buy. Why? Because you want to avoid resonance. Everything is connected to the concept of compliance. I did an entire video on this. Now check this video where you can establish, knowing the compliance of your cartridge and the weight of all the parts connected to the tone arm. At that point, you can find the correct resonance frequency because you want to keep it in a certain range. Check that video. There's all the details there and the applications. There's an online calculator where you just put the different types of information, grams and compliance, etc. and it calculates the perfect type of weight you would like, for example, for your tone arm or for your head shell, for example. So that is fundamental. At that point, when you establish how much weight you want adding with your head shell, at that point you have to start thinking instead of geometry. What type of construction of head shell? Not all head shells are the same. I did an entire video on the search of head shells, the perfect head shell, and I had this turntable in mind, so might as well take a look at that video. Here's the link. With my cartridge, my Dynavector, the 20X2L, I decided to go, in the end, after choosing different types. In the video, I've chosen a different one, and in the end, I changed again, and I went back to this. This is a copy, it's not an original, Orsonic AV101S, which is a fantastic type of head shell. Why? Because it has this open type of geometry, which is greatly beneficial for vibrations. Otherwise, another type I think is very good is the single one, where you attach the cartridge like this, just one single piece. Instead, the flat ones, I find there's much more resonance. But you pick. You have all the elements now to choose what is best for your cartridge, your tone arm, and obviously for your turntable. Let's proceed. Upgrade number 4, the mat. Ooh, this is another difficult one. Okay. This is just for being cool on the video. I'm certainly not using a felt mat on my precious turntable. I'm using a crazy, insane priced Stain Music interface. The perfect interface it's called. This is made from a special type of Japanese tree, the tapa cloth tree. And they say from that tree they created this special type of paper, which is amazing, according to them, and I must say it's true. The bad side is that this cost $300. I know, it's insane. I must admit that it's a little too much. If I could go back in time, I wouldn't get it. Although I must admit that I tried a lot of mats, guys. Again, I made a video on mats. Take a look at that. After trying bull skin, any kind of leather, cork, acrylic. This is the best choice for this turntable. And I'm sure also for the GR or the GAE. But I want to give you an advice. Instead of going for this immediately, you could try to get the version which was published by Teac. The washi. What is washi? Washi just means Japanese paper, which is a combination of different kinds of fibers. And if you look the images, you will see that it's very similar. Now, I hope at Stain Music they're really using this tapa cloth tree instead of just simple washi. I think so, because it does look a little bit different. I've seen washi in Japan. In any case, I think it's very, very similar. And it goes around $30, even less sometimes. So look for that model. I'll put a link where you can get it maybe. And try it out directly on the platter. This was a suggestion from Mikey, and I thank you him, because it is truly amazing what it changes. It's ripping off the rubber, which is good, but not as good as something this type. Plus, the static electricity is greatly diminished with this type of mat, as you can imagine, while the rubber does charge up. So this is much better, absolutely. Try the washi and you tell me, give me your feedback. Let's proceed. Upgrade number 5, the KABTD1000. Okay, first for this upgrade, I want to thank one of my subscribers, Korax. I think that's the way you pronounce it. Thank you, because you've suggested a good upgrade. To me, it's not an amazing upgrade, but it does have an impact. I must admit an impact is present, because I did try to remove it and I did find subtle differences. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this. This is a little piece of aluminum, very nice, very slick. It looks identical to the rest of the arm of this section of the tone arm. But it's made by KAB, it's a famous company in the US which makes a lot of upgrades, tweaks, and electronics. They're very cool, very cool shop. Take a look if you don't know about them. In any case, I'll put a link, obviously, of all the things I'm telling you about in the video description. This is a solution. Well, actually, they didn't invent this. A lot of tone arms, not a lot, well, a good number of high-end tone arms does have that. For example, famous tone arms like SME, the 4 and 5, I think both, or maybe just the 5, in any case, adopt this solution. What is that? Well, that is a dampening solution. It's a little pit, aluminum in this case, where they put a fluid, usually silicone. And that is directly, we can say, hosting a part, as you can see here, I hope you can see it, a part of the tone arm. I'll put a picture here. So if we are, while the tone arm is going up and down, it's traveling, I hope you can see it, in its fluid. And since it is immersed in that fluid, it should a little dampen the resonance of the tone arm. As we know, the resonance of the tone arm is always going to be there. And it varies according to which type of music and what's happening around you, etc., etc. So please make attention. Every kind of solution will help in doing this. So it can't do bad again. This is a good solution together with other things to lower resonance, vibrations, all this which creates noise and a bad tracking. So this goes, it's not cheap, and they will send it fast and in a cheap way also if you're far from the US, so don't worry about that. This goes $169. I know it's not cheap, but it does, together with in combination with the other tweaks and upgrades, makes sense. Let's proceed. Upgrade number 6. Okay, now I'm about to talk of something that I did not personally do. So it's just a suggestion, not a true recommendation. What am I talking about? Since we're talking about tone arms, well, substituting the tone arm. If you like this turntable, how it behaves, its sound, changing its tone arm, especially I would say in the GR version, could be actually a good idea. Now, in this case, in the G case, we have magnesium, which is already much better. The other one is aluminum, as I said. So again, maybe it could be a good idea. And don't think it's that difficult to change. No, you just have to unscrew everything from below. Plus, you get obviously a new tone arm, and you also need an arm board for that specific new tone arm you want to install, okay? You're going to need the arm board, and then you're going to need obviously the tone arm, and you have to know if the tone arm can fit there. I'm going to just tell you a few solutions I've found online that people are enthusiastic and think they're optimal upgrades. Well, one of them is the Fremer FX3D. They also make another type of arm which costs a little less, the F12000. I have not tried them. I don't know anything about them. I'm sorry. They say though they're very good. And that is one of the main choices I've noticed around. That's one. Plus, also, we were talking about it before, SME. 4, or if you can, number 5. I know, if you buy them new, they cost more than a turntable. But there are a lot of them in the used market, and the prices are going down, much down. So it could be a good investment if you find a used, in good shape tone arm and the respective arm board, which you can find it on eBay very easily. Just type the model and you can find it, or obviously in other shops. Let's proceed. Upgrade number 7. Okay. What I want to suggest is something which actually, like most of these recommendations, are beneficial for almost any type of turntable. What am I talking about? I'm talking about feet, or in this case, more a plinth. A lot of you already noticed this. This is here. I'm testing. Now it's already been 10 days. I have this more or less a week or so. The G model has very good feet. So I wouldn't recommend to upgrade that. I mean, if you can if you want. There's always a possibility of doing better. But I would especially recommend this to the GR models. There I would actually change the feet. I would recommend 2 solutions. Again, I haven't done this because I don't have a GR model, but I know from colleagues and just going online also that, for example, the bowing from the Fremer, again, are very good. And I would say, from my personal recommendation would be, since I know how they work with loudspeakers, is the GAE, isoacoustic GAE. I know, they're designed actually for loudspeakers, but the number 3 does go all the way maximum to 35 kilos, while this is around 22, I think. 22, 23, maybe less. In any case, very close. So you can unscrew the feet and put those, or something very similar, no problem. Don't think that if something is perfectly designed for a loudspeaker, for example, it's not going to work here. A lot of people use the GAE on different kinds of things, so don't worry about that. So, in any case, the concept, the upgrade is to change the feet, especially in the GR model. If you have a G or the GAE, I never mentioned that because it's practically very similar to the G, and you already have an excellent turntable there, even better than the G, I would recommend, and I do recommend already, using a plinth, a good isolated plinth. Maybe this looks like a just simple model piece of wood. No, there's some technology. There's some dampening solutions, but I'll go more in depth in another video. In any case, get a good plinth. As I said, I'll do a video on this in the future, which will, or a good shelf or a good piece of furniture, hi-fi furniture, which will help dampening. The best, in my opinion, is wood. Wood is always actually recommended for turntables. It just delivers a different, pleasant, and realistic type of sound, more than other stuff like stone sometimes, or other types of materials, also artificial materials. I don't know, like corian. Yeah, maybe, sure, why not? But wood is wood. I mean, it's just something else. And if you get one, try to get something with a high mass. I mean, a nice big chunk. That will help greatly. And also if it has its own special dampening feet. That is the key point here. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, our last upgrade number 8. Again, I haven't tried this, although I have no doubt that it will be certainly effective. What am I talking about? An external power supply. If you noticed, very high-end models, in most cases, have an external power supply. Why that? Because it brings noise inside, it creates more vibrations, in any case, always, even the top-notch designs. So if you put that externally, even if you have the motor here, but external power supply, it's always better. Because things vibrate. I mean, the pieces, the capacitors, things vibrate. So it's just better to, and also they may create some interference if it's not properly isolated. So it's just better to have that on the external side. In fact, some people have heard with specific phono preamps some noise actually coming from the turntable, which goes up back in the tone arm. In fact, it is a very sensible model. If you just tap it here like that, you're really gonna hear that much more in other models. So we have to be careful of vibrations, and this is also this type of upgrade is connected mainly to that. In any case, I found 2 excellent solutions, although I must say, in my opinion, the cost is a little too much. Because we're going, for example, I found the time step from Evoke. They create a whole actually turntable, upgraded turntable with the SME tone arm and different kinds of upgrades, plus this external power supply, which they say, and I believe them, because it's logic that's going to work, that creates great benefits to the final tracking. So their model goes, I have the price here, 495 sterling pounds, which is a lot. I know, guys, it's a lot. There's also nice, very nice, maybe even better model from a Precision Sound Lab. This is an Italian label, an Italian brand, that makes their EPS 1 Mark II version, which is even more expensive. It's around 650 euro. So considering the exchange rate, maybe we're there more or less. In any case, that's another excellent power supply, external power supply. Again, don't worry of doing this by yourself. You just have to unscrew a few parts. You can do it on your own. It's not that difficult. But as I was saying, it is a good upgrade, but maybe it's a little too expensive. Maybe I would do the other things, and at that point, if you're considering spending that much, it's better just to do it on a tone arm, for me, I think at least. Or maybe even just a better cartridge, obviously. In any case, at that point, you're probably going to want a different type of turntable if you upgraded everything else. Okay, guys, now I'm interested in your suggestions. If you have found some good upgrades for the G model, the GAE, or the GR, no problem. Write them here in the comments. I'm very interested. And obviously, music is born analog. Well, guys, if you're enjoying my videos and you're enjoying my channel, please consider to subscribe by clicking the black and white logo here below. Also, don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll never miss an episode and you will become a true member of the analog community.